narrative. Young, dumb American, arrogant, throwing fists, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting the fool, this embarrassing is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system tainted. But when we speak, they all laugh at us. And y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Trying to fight a giant with attorneys that can back them up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing, obviously never silent. New alignment, I'm defiant, can I describe it? Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. At every bar, even though my bar has been the hardest. The scars on my face said I ain't always been the smartest, but I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeves, even if the beat stops, my soul will not leave. If I never stood tall, nobody will ever see. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops, my soul will not leave. If I never stood tall, nobody will ever see. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, I can show you where my...
The type of guy that would ride with the breeze. I'm higher than most people, I'm cold and icicle freeze. I'm liking to Mike Tyson, I'm a bison, a beast. I'm high like Jamaica, like fighting for peace. 8 years old, out there watching people fight in the streets. All these sirens only make the violence increase. Yeah, we're still not loving police. It's that bright young American, nice, dumb, arrogant. Tight on a mic, but he might need a therapist. Heart full of kerosene, head full of fairy tales. Said that you're my homie, you don't know me, but I know you very well. Roll back on some West Coast shit. This whole track is wetter than your dress code kiss. About to hit the track, running on some retro fit. I guess I'll lit, I guess I'll bitch, now let's go.
I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeves, even if the beat stops, my soul will not leave. If I never stood tall, nobody will...
Oh, we rolling tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday. A little sports talk and some whiskey. Hang with the fellas. Cheers, my guys. How we doing, Robert Pinky?
Cheers, gents. Doing excellent.
buddy.
I'm back in the 719 again. Feels good.
Just want people. It's a little heavy pour for Caleb tonight.
Yeah, slightly.
We're dealing with some raw emotions still. So Pinky, there you go.
Man, I had to dial it back after partying all weekend. That's why I'm not participating in the normal whiskey variety. I need to chill.
Stick with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going through some things. Okay, we'll hope everything levels out here, but we got some takes. Obviously, we'll give them to you about everything that's going down. NBA, got a little NFL to talk. We're gonna breeze through some NHL because that's going on and we love it. We just don't watch it enough to feel like we have the ability to truly talk about all of it. Once it gets to like the Stanley Cup, we'll don't worry. We'll dive in a little more. We'll get Cody's input. We'll learn a couple things and we'll be able to talk a lot more. Probably conference finals, Pinky. You think we could come conference finals? We could step it up, whether the Avs are in it or not. I mean, we could discuss a little more at that point.
I've been paying pretty good attention. I have a pretty good handle on what's going on, but not as in depth as Cody, right?
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
level.
I can talk. Like, I can tell you like who's up and what they're kind of looking like. I don't know if I have. I haven't been paying enough.
You can't provide in-depth analysis.
Exactly. And if I can't do that, I feel like I need to just kind of dial it back a little bit and go from there. But it's I watch. I don't have the time I used to, and so my sports viewing at this point in time has to be very select. And unfortunately, all of hockey is not on the agenda. The Avs are, and I'm watching all the NBA playoffs, but that's about all the time I got. So you, sir, will have to do a little bit more of the hockey converse this evening.
I will absolutely do that, and I'll watch it when it's actually on Max and not on stupid ESPN. Bunch of bitches.
See, I feel like on ESPN Plus, you should still be able to watch the Spanish version. Mm-hmm. I know you can. I'm just saying I feel like you should still be able to do that.
I think if you pay for any ESPN Plus, you should get ESPN programming regardless.
I agree.
Disney's corrupt, bro, but moving on.
I don't really understand why, but once you get bought out by the big dog like they did, that bottom dollar becomes pretty heavy.
I don't know. I don't know. So let's talk some nonsense for a moment. I think based on being a sports podcast, being that it's entertainment, the roast of Tom Brady, the greatest roast of all time. Oh,
I don't know if I'll say it's the greatest, but it was good.
I've seen bits and pieces. I still need to sit and watch it, but I'm very, very, very excited.
It was good. It was definitely good. I don't know if I'll go greatest. There's been some good roasts. Comedy Central used to have them all the time.
Right.
And there was a couple that were just like, whoo, you better hope your kids were in bed.
But I think this is the most influential person getting roasted that I can remember. So that's what I think makes this call him to go to football.
PFM did a roast some years back.
I don't remember that at all.
Yep. Manning had his own roast as well.
It was great. That was
the Ron Burgundy appearance on Peyton Manning's was 10 times better than the Ron Burgundy.
This one wasn't good.
Brady. No.
Actually, that was, to me, besides Kim Kardashian. So Kim Kardashian was the worst.
Nope.
Yeah.
Kim was middle of the road. Not good, not bad. The worst was Two Bears. They were atrocious. And I was very disappointed in the bit they came out with. Didn't make really any sense. None of it was really funny. They were laughing at themselves and nobody else was laughing with them. Like, legit. Like, even the crowd was like, meh.
Maybe I enjoy those guys, so I laughed out of just because I enjoy them. I'll have to go back and rewatch
They were really bad, and Randy Moss was actually really bad.
But do we think Randy Moss was going to be good? He doesn't seem like a guy who's got a lot of personality.
Whoever wrote his idea that he decided to go with and agree to with the whole ring situation, it was just bad. It just was bad. And it's not that Randy himself was bad. It's just that the material was just, they tried to shove it down your throats, and they could have done one joke with it and then moved on to something else. It was, so Randy and the Two Bears were my least favorite. I thought Kim was middle of the road. Hinchcliffe killed it. That dude, that was hilarious. I'm drawing a blank on the black lesbian.
Sam J.
I
never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
But she was hilarious. She was really good.
Her roast of Drew Bledsoe literally made me almost choke on my whiskey.
The whole strap-on joke was maybe the best joke of the night. That thing was fire. So that was really good. And then I actually loved Edelman because whoever had those jokes was trying to find somebody that would do them. And Jules was like, I got this.
I'll be your fuck boy.
Yeah.
It's fine. I got it.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. And then I was disappointed in all the Aaron Hernandez jokes. And not because I think they're distasteful or, for God's sakes, there's a 9/11 joke made. Whew, okay. But I just thought they were low-hanging fruit.
They were, but so I'll say what got me on the Aaron Hernandez jokes was the amount of them. It was, I think a couple times it was funny, and then it's because they did it so many times, that's when it kind of okay, guys, we get it.
Do you hear what his ex-girlfriend or fiance had to say?
Giselle?
No.
Aaron Hernandez.
Ex.
Yeah, I don't care.
No.
She said they tried to destroy a hero's legacy for her daughter. And I was like, if you're trying to say anything good about that man to that young girl, you are already setting her up for a lifetime of misery and failure.
And disappointment.
Bro, as soon as someone figures out, as she's older, figures out you are Aaron Hernandez's daughter, oh man, yeah, she's definitely gonna have some therapy bills.
Yeah, that's you don't come out and defend. I don't care if you love the person. You still need to be able to accept responsibility for them being an awful human being. And if you can't do that, there's a problem. There's a big problem. Your significant other was a murderer. That's bad. It's kind of bad. So wasn't a fan of those. And then I thought look, I got to back off my stance a little bit of the whole Brady telling Jeff Ross to not do that. It had a feel of staged, but I still believe it was real. So I still think Tom loses some points there, but it wasn't. You're right. Context matters. I should know better. I say that all the time. So I just felt like saying,
yeah,
Tom Brady.
Like in the moment, it wasn't bad if you were watching it. If you're on Twitter and people are posting about it on Twitter, you're going to get the wrong idea. Basically.
You're right. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was still bad. You don't like. I have a hard time deciding if it was staged and they were trying to do it as like a joke. But the way, because like you could tell Tom was ready to like sit up and say something right away, and then he kind of waited, and then he got up and said it, and I'm like, I don't like that, but not bad. And then Belichick killed, dude. I'm a big Belichick fan after watching that roast.
Now, was there anything more awkward than Kevin Hart getting Belichick and Robert Kraft to get up and do a shot? Like it was awkward, and I think Robert Kraft was the bigger man, but you could see like Belichick, like just like, God, I don't want to be next to this man. He just fired me. Like,
yeah, there was some. You could tell there's a little bit of tension, but I will give Bill credit for everything. I mean, he's kind of been the scapegoat, if you will, for a lot of this over the last couple years. And not saying he doesn't have some blame, but you know, you empowered him to do these things. You signed off on the moves he made.
Right.
So for you guys to kind of throw him under the bus the way you did.
And at the end of the day, he won 6 championships.
Yeah.
Like,
and then for him to come out and just kill it and show everybody a different side of personality and what you're going to be getting on his TV analysis with the Mannings and what he did with the draft.
That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm excited to see what he does, and he's going to give you a lot of great insight. So I think it'll be fun to see his personality come out a little bit more. But I'll say this: I think all the players have a lot of respect for him. I don't know if they all love him, but I think it was very evident on that dais that all the players had a lot of respect for him.
I thought I think it was Rich Eisen I was listening to earlier, I believe, that mentioned, isn't this like the Bill Belichick get back into your good graces tour? Show his personality, show that he can get along with people, right? To possibly be available for a job next year.
His line, though, that like when he was like, now I know everybody wonders if it was Tom or if it was me, but the truth is it was both of us because of me.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's so true. That's so true. And Bledsoe was actually really good too. As I'm thinking about it, he was really good.
The only thing that Bledsoe's was amazing, except for the beginning. When they did the little like thing at the beginning, his timing was off.
He stumbled a little bit out of the gate, but he recovered nicely.
His set was good. Kevin Hart was amazing. Jeff Ross is always good.
Yeah.
Him coming out in the O.J. Simpson jersey,
dude.
Oh.
Because I'm here to kill another white little bitch. Like, what? There we go. Jeff Ross starting fire.
So Peyton Manning was good. Nikki Glaser was the best. Her set.
I was going to finish with her. She's always pretty good, but and what I love about her is she has this kind of almost dry wit, obvious humor. When she's saying things, but they come off like she's just talking. You know what I mean? Like she's just, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I just burned the shit out of you. How you feeling now?
Although even though I haven't seen it, I think the best thing that I have seen come of it is Eli's tweet. That was probably
that was funny.
I mean, the way even Peyton roasted him for Eli, like the way those two are always against Brady, and they're friends now off the field.
Oh yeah,
I think is
hilarious. Yeah, at the thing, at family gatherings, the kids say it's time to go to take a Brady. I was like, oh damn. I loved it. I think my wife was pissed at me that night, so I don't think she enjoyed it as much as I did. I think she kind of walked away halfway through. Mainly, I mean, it was her fault. I'm just gonna go with that. It was her fault.
Oh man,
But,
she watches this, so that's gonna come back
She
to
does.
haunt me.
I'm probably
Robert,
gonna.
yep. Robert. Mhm, yep.
I'm just I'm gonna pour one out for Pinky right now. Everyone, this is the last time we see him.
R.I.P. ladies and gentlemen.
Pinky
Well done,
makes
sir.
mistakes.
Love
Yeah.
ya.
Bye.
Pinky makes mistakes, but I do love that woman to death. So, we just had a disagreement at the time. So, which happens.
I'm
So yeah, I
interested
would.
to see this. This will continue. The question is, who's going to have the balls to do it next?
I don't know, man. Well, and the other
It
thing
better be
was
a
is though,
coach.
you've
What?
got to
It
find
better be a coach. I'd love to see that.
LeBron.
No,
I think
There's
you have
no
to
way.
find.
he's
I'm
too
just
much
saying.
of a bitch.
There's no
Sorry.
way.
You have to find folks who have that overarching popularity, but also somewhat seen as a villain. So then there's enough material for them to attack you on.
LeBron wouldn't do the dunk contest. You think he's going to put himself out there for a roast?
Tyreek Hill.
He's not popular enough.
What?
You could do it. He's not popular enough.
You
I'm
know,
not talking like big time figures.
I'll
Travis
tell you who
Kelce.
fits the bill, but it
Maybe
wouldn't
Mason
work.
even.
It wouldn't work because it would all feel way too real. There wouldn't actually be a roast. It wouldn't be a joke. It'd just be like an intervention is what it would turn into. But a name that would fit the bill would be Antonio Brown.
Maybe even
Again,
Deion Sanders.
still not the popularity I think you need, but yes, you could definitely do it.
Deion.
Oh, that
Deion.
would be good. That
Deion.
would be good.
Yeah, because you can make tons of jokes about how he parents his kids and how he actually ranks them, and you could talk about his playing career, you could talk about his flashiness, you could talk about coaching. That's a great poll, Robert. That's a great poll.
Nice. Yeah, that would be a good one. So that's what I'm interested to see because Netflix is definitely going to continue this. That was such a huge deal that they just need to find the right person that's willing to put their.
Could we roast Schwarzenegger, or has he already been roasted? He might have already been roasted.
I feel like Arnold had one on Comedy Central already.
Whatever.
Comedy Central's had a lot.
Did they roast Tyson?
I don't think you could do Tyson.
Yeah.
He's too.
You're getting too real.
Yeah, and he's too beloved. At this point in time, I don't think it wouldn't mix well with the way we see him now versus the whole where he was early 90s.
You need to have someone that there's almost there's as many people that love them and as many people that hate
Steph
them.
Curry, you watch, he would do it. I guarantee you he would be.
I mean, how much stuff could you roast him on besides being short? And he's not even really that short. He's just short basketball.
Dude, are you kidding me? Blowing a 3-1 lead, greatest team ever until then. All the Draymond stuff, his busted ankles, his being his dad's kid, I think you could go pretty good with Steph. All the stuff that his wife dealt with, her cooking show and book, and I think you could do Steph.
I don't know how I don't think he could handle it.
I think
Aaron Rodgers.
I think he could. I personally, that was one of the first ones I thought of, but everybody told me there's no way. I think Rodgers is great with the media, and I think he would handle it fabulously. Here's my thing about Rodgers that I maintain until I hear a teammate blast him. I've yet to hear a teammate come out and say he's a bad teammate. The media wants to talk about it. The media wants to say he's selfish and he's not there for his guys and this, that, and the other. I've yet to hear a teammate come out and say Rodgers is not a good dude. So I think you could really do well with him. And you bring in the Bakhtiaris and the Jordy Nelsons and I think you could get Garrett Wilson would probably show up right now and love every minute of it because he idolizes the dude at this point. That's a good one, Pinky. Rodgers would be great, but I don't see him doing it while he's still playing. The same with Steph. So, and LeBron the same way. Those are some names, though.
If you're going to throw some money at somebody to get roasted, LeBron is the guy.
I like Deion. I like Robert's Deion as the next one. I think you could do a lot with that, especially with the Colorado situation right now. Bringing in my Louis luggage, and I think you could roll with that real good. But I bet you we get another one announced within 6 months because it went over so well.
We'll see. Definitely they're gonna do it, and Netflix is getting into more live events.
Yep.
So we will absolutely. I mean, they've got the Tyson Paul fight coming up in July. So
are we gonna have to pay for that separately, or is it just gonna be
on Netflix?
Well, I never know anymore because ESPN Plus originally started as just everything's there, and now all of a sudden they got the pay-per-view side of it.
Even well, so because I've been with ESPN Plus from the beginning.
Have
the
you?
UFC, yes. The UFC fight nights are always free.
You know,
the pay-per-views you've always had to pay for.
Okay, but ESPN Plus started way before they had the UFC events. It started before Disney. You understand that, right?
Well, yeah. And then it became more of a subscription with Disney. But.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. Back in the day when you first bought ESPN Plus, you got all the content, all of it, and there was no pay-per-view additional. You got all the games that ESPN ABC had. You got them all. And then they started, kind of dissecting it even more to what it is today. So I always question, like, yeah, I've got that streaming service, but do I really get to watch it? Because I'm not paying extra.
Yeah, you get it. You get it, buddy.
All right.
All right. So I guess that's a good segue that Biggie dropped for us already. The Nuggets getting roasted. Man, I
haven't watched the games other than the brief little bit I watched last night, and I couldn't bear, so I turned it off.
I made it till it got to 32 points. Once the lead was 32 points, I was like, okay, I'm out.
I'm going to say something right off the top. Two-parter. Last night was disappointing, and not from the loss standpoint, from the way they carried themselves. And I have never seen this Nuggets team with this head coach. They've done some whining, and rightfully so, in the past, and I'm not going to completely bash them for previous stuff, but last night was a low. And the way they decided to continue to carry on with whether they were bad officiating or not, continue to go at the refs instead of the other team was disappointing and pathetic. And look, if you watch us at all, I am a Blue Arrow guy. Jamal Murray is my dude. And his actions last night are unacceptable. There's no other way to say it. And the fact that the NBA decided to just give him a $100,000 fine today rather than suspend him for game 3 is the wrong move. And any Nuggets fan who wants to disagree with that, I'm sorry, but you're just being a homer. The NBA had an opportunity here to set a precedent and flat out say, if you throw anything on the court or at the refs, there is a minimum 1-game suspension. It cannot be allowed. And flat out, $100,000 fine is nothing. Absolutely nothing to these dudes. And all that tells Jamal is, hey, we know things were frustrating and, you shouldn't have done it, but it's going to be okay. And I'm not good with that. I'm not. And so I'm glad in a sense, I'm glad it happened to a Nugget so that people understand how serious I am about this. This is my own team I'm saying this about. And if he's suspended for game 3, the series is definitely over. Period. End of story.
Although he hasn't played really well to even help them. So is he beat out? Would it really hurt? I mean,
Jokic hasn't played well. And that's where I'm going next. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, and I cannot put my finger on it. But this Nuggets team has played flat and lifeless all playoffs. They're lucky that they got the Lakers in the first round because the Lakers play soft and lifeless and complain and allow things to get in their heads. So
the Lakers missed shots.
Took what the Lakers were doing in the first round, and they decided they were going to carry that over themselves to the second round against the T-Wolves. There's no aggression. There's no movement on the offensive end, let alone ball movement. There's just no player movement. They're playing flat-footed on defense. Aaron Gordon right now looks like a below-average defender. And that's wild to even say. But he looks like a below-average defender. The team has no defensive rotation. They look lost. I can go on and on. What I will finish with right now is I very clearly laid out what I believe they needed to do to win this series. And to me, it felt like a very obvious scenario. of what I basically thought I was giving you what Malone was going to do. And I've yet to see any of it. Now, I can't say it's Malone's fault because I'm not seeing any life on the court from the players. So I don't believe they've executed the game plan yet. So I can't even tell you if Malone's put a game plan in that I would think is where it needs to be. And he came out and tried to do his quid pro quo, his standard, I'm going to rile the troops. He's known for it. He's done it a couple different times, and it's worked in the past. I'm going to run out on the court. I'm going to yell and scream at the refs. I'm going to get my ass kicked out. The troops are going to rally, and we're going to be good to go. And God bless the refs, because legitimately, this is what I've been asking refs to do for years now, is just swallow your goddamn whistle and let them yell at you a little bit, because it's not about you. And so if they're just yelling at you a little bit and the players got in between you, which is what Aaron Gordon was right there, pushing Malone away, and I got him. It's okay. Don't eject him. Please don't eject him. I got him. Bravo to the ref. Honestly, bravo, because that's not something you should be kicking a guy out for. The fact that he didn't even give a technical was, that was a gold standard of what you should see from NBA officiating going forward, in my opinion.
Although I feel like the ref should have had that moment of like, yeah, we're kind of fucked up on this. So,
but and I look, I said this to Pinky. I understand why some Nuggets fans are upset with the officiating, but shut the fuck up, Nuggets fans. Shut the fuck up. And this is why. If your team's gonna play that way, and you're gonna play without any aggression, you're going to turn the ball over like that, you're going to be lazy with your passes, you're going to do all the things you've been doing, you're not going to get calls. You're not. So don't complain to the ref that they're not giving you calls when you look like you're just going through the motions on the court. I will never fault an officiating crew for having the whistle one-sided when that one side is going to the team who's trying to do the things to initiate the contact.
When you are,
and let's be honest, there's one clip going around where Jamal in the first half got double teamed and trapped near half court just after he came over the half court line. I've watched that 15, 20 times now. I don't see a foul. I don't.
No, not on that play.
Really aggressive defense, hands up, hands out, and they trapped him. And Nuggets fans are trying to use that as the example of he was fouled 17 times and he got
That's the wrong one.
I'm not doing it. Now, there were some plays. The Jamal first half when Cat lowered his shoulder and just beat him out of that's a foul. That is an offensive foul. You cannot lower your shoulder and remove a defender from his position. Can't do it. That was a foul.
You know, it was funny. Shaq and Barkley argued that. And Barkley was like, he ran him over. That is a foul. And Shaq was like, no, man, you got to move your feet. And I was like, no, if the defender is set, you have to go around him.
That's a charge.
He is set. That's the charge.
Now, what Shaq doesn't understand is if Shaq just put his weight on somebody, they moved their feet. He didn't have to body him like that. And so when he did start to body them, their feet were already moving. So that's why Shaq never really got charges. Jamal Murray was in perfect defensive position and took a charge, and they didn't call it. So that, I believe, was the true start of the frustration. And then every little knick-knack after that, they thought they were going to get calls for, and they didn't. And I was disgusted because I felt like I was watching a LeBron James-led Lakers team complain for the rest of the game.
Look, I'm not going to complain like a lot of Nuggets fans have complained today about the officiating. What I did see, and my point out, is the way that they were calling the game, and I don't mind if they call it physical. If you allow both teams to be physical, I'm more than fine with that. But in that first half, those refs were swallowing that whistle, and when the Nuggets tried to fight back, they started blowing the whistle on just being aggressive. And again, we didn't do it all the time, but when we were being aggressive in our defense and playing decent defense, they were calling the fouls. And it was just like, wait, it's not going both ways. And then as the frustration kept boiling, and then it boiled over, and then they were done. So again, the officiating didn't cost us that game. Our game plan, our scheme, Joker deciding he wants to keep passing the ball instead of putting up 30 points. Like, fuck it, man, put up 30 points. Like, they're not going to stop you, but they're definitely stopping everybody around you. So do what you got to do. That's what, those individuals. Jamal Murray couldn't hit anything. Michael Porter went ice cold for some reason.
Well, and that's the other problem, Pinky, that I have with this, and why this team is just driving me nuts this whole playoff run, especially these last 2 games against the Wolves. When you have an aggressive defense that's overcommitting all the time, why are you still chucking up shots? You're taught from a young age. First of all, if your shot's not falling. Second of all, if there's an aggressive defense. Third of all, it's the smartest way to make sure you get fouls and go to the line. You take the ball to the rim. You be aggressive and you take the ball. You force the issue. And they didn't. They didn't. They continue to settle for outside jump shots.
Which
they continue to try to play back to the basket. And again, when there's no movement, when you got one dude standing and you got a high pick and roll and everybody else is standing on the perimeter, which is not normal Nuggets basketball, but for whatever reason, that's what they're doing now. You're going to cause yourselves to get on the wrong side of the officiating. That is 101. That's basketball 101 that you learn from a very young age. You're going to play finesse and the other team's going to play aggressive. It's very unlikely you're going to get the foul calls on that finesse side. Very unlikely.
And if you don't take it to the rim when Rudy Gobert is down there, I can somewhat understand. But he wasn't down there last night.
Well, not just that. Let's take it a step further. If you watched that game last night and you think the Wolves are better with Rudy Gobert, I have no hope for you. Because what I watched last night was a team that's a lot more dangerous without him on the court. A lot more dangerous.
Well, because their other defender, I don't think you lose a whole lot on defense.
Naz Reid.
And you gain more on offense.
You don't have a liability on the offensive end. And here's the other thing. Rudy Gobert can't play perimeter defense. He cannot play perimeter defense. He is a great center fielder, and that's it. Look what Jokic did to him in game 1 when he wanted to back him down. Backed him down and did whatever he wanted. Rudy Gobert is not a great defender. I don't know how many times I have to say this, and I'll continue to say it. You can say he's won 3 Defensive Players of the Year, and he's about to win a 4th. It hasn't been announced yet.
It got announced today.
I missed it?
Yep, he got announced today.
That's bullshit. Wemby deserved that. He's not a great defender. If you play center field and you're an average rebounder, if he's as great as he is, he should be averaging like 15, 16 rebounds a game. He doesn't. It's like 11 or 12, maybe. He plays center field. He doesn't slide his feet on the perimeter. He cannot guard somebody one-on-one on the post. He is not a great defender. I am blown away that people keep acting like he is. Jokic owned him. And in every matchup they've ever had, Jokic owned him. There's the famous quote of Rudy Gobert saying he's going to lock him down. And Jokic said to him mid-game, bro, I got 40. Like, if somebody's going to say that to you to your face after you're trying to claim to be a good defender, you're not a good defender. Okay? So what I watched last night was a team that's much more dangerous without him on the floor. Now, if I'm Minnesota, game 3, I'm starting Naz Reid, and Gobert can come off the bench and get 15, 20 minutes maybe. I don't need him to play at all. So we'll see how this goes moving forward. But look, this is not me being a homer. This is not me trying to drum up something that doesn't exist. If you think this series is over, you're foolish. The Nuggets are still the defending champs. They're still arguably the best team in the league. They're not playing like it, so I'm not going to claim they are. But to think this series is over right now would be foolish. Denver could easily go into Minnesota and win 2. They are that good of a team. The problem with that is they haven't played that way this entire playoffs. And it's not easy to just all of a sudden turn that switch and start playing almost a 180 from the way you had been. So I do not.
They would have to get 70 from Jamal and Joker. Like
I do not think this series is over. No, they don't actually. You need about. This is what you need. You need about 20 to 25 from both of them. Jokic needs to have about 15 assists. Murray needs to have about 8 to 10, and that means the supporting cast is going off. MPJ, Aaron Gordon, KCP are all giving you another 20, roughly. That's really the Nuggets winning recipe. It's rare that Jokic goes off for like 50 and they win. It happens, but I think they're like 500 when he does that. Whereas there's some stat out there when he takes, I think it's less than 18 shots a game, and he hovers around 25, 10, and 10. They're like 75% win percentage. It's a huge difference. So Jokic is great, and he can go out and get all his if he wants to.
So
the problem with it is when the other guys aren't being aggressive at the same time, when they're not moving, they're not cutting, his passing and his IQ doesn't get to be used on the same level.
Let's just put it this way.
Nuggets have a chance. This series is not over yet, Nuggets fans. But they have to come out with a completely different mentality and mindset in game 3.
Well, they have to win game 3. They don't win game 3, it's over.
I would agree with that.
Like, because technically you win game 3. If you lose game 4, it's 3-1, but you're coming home for 1. Then you got to go back and steal 1. Like, it's doable. But if you lose game 3, you're not winning 4 straight.
Now, last thing I'll say about this, and we'll move to the other playoff series. I'm going to say this as kind as I possibly can and as PC as I possibly can, Pinky, so bear with me. Calvin Booth allowed his arrogance and pride to put the Denver Nuggets in a position where there could very quickly be no more discussion of dynasty. And even if they're able to find a way to win again this year, this team is flawed moving forward in a bad way. Because Calvin Booth wanted to say he's smarter than everybody else and go rookies over vets when you have a very small window in today's modern NBA. And the roster construction he put together made one of Denver's biggest strengths last year, which was their second unit, their biggest weakness this year. And that second unit is the worst in the playoffs right now. It's not even close. They are bad, real bad. Christian Brown has not developed any more than what he was last year, unfortunately. There has been no addition to his game. Peyton Watson shows flashes, but he's not consistent. And let's not even talk about the other draft picks that he did this year that said would be contributing and aren't anywhere to be seen. The fact that Reggie Jackson is getting as many minutes as he has right now tells you all you need to know about
and
that.
He's so up and down.
So Tim Conley has put on a masterclass right in front of Calvin Booth's face on roster construction.
I mean, for now.
No, not for now, period. Because the Timberwolves moving forward, I'm going to tell you right now, if Denver can win this year, they're not going to be the favorite next year if rosters are the same. Because that Minnesota roster is only getting better. And the Nuggets roster isn't.
Again, things will change when they have to pay Ant the Supermax they're going to have to pay him. They're just not there yet.
Again, let Gobert walk. And then you pay Ant and you can keep everybody else. That's the beauty of what they've done right now. And while the Nuggets are in a great spot because they've got Murray, Jokic, MPJ, and Gordon all locked up and they're good for the next couple of years, what Calvin Booth decided to fill out the roster with around them outside of KCP is bad. It just is. And I said that was going to be the issue last year after he made the decisions. I told everybody. And they wanted to tell me I was an idiot. And I didn't know what I was talking about. And then I have all these people telling me, oh, they couldn't use it because of the mid-level exemption and the salary cap and luxury tax. And there are ways to maneuver those things around. And if you want to believe that there's not, I can't have a conversation with you because it's been proven time and time again that you can. Calvin Booth chose not to. It's that simple. He chose to go to ownership with a plan and say, this is what I'm going to do. And if you go to Kroenke and tell him you're going to save him money, he's going to be good with it. So going forward, Denver's got to do something about that second unit. And what I see on the second unit and what Conley did to add to Minnesota, I'm nervous moving forward. I still believe their Nuggets can win and get out of this. I do. But I think you're watching the two best teams remaining in the playoffs right now. And I don't think it's a question. Minnesota and Denver are the two best teams left. Boston would probably be the third. So, Nuggets fans, some summarization for you. Shut the fuck up about the refs, because that's not a problem. And understand that what we're looking at right now could be a one-and-done situation due to some really bad front office management.
It is what it is at this point. So,
but
live and die with those decisions.
Silver lining, and I fought myself with this all night last night, guys. I wanted to be mad. I wanted to be disgusted. I wanted to be disappointed. I wanted to be furious and all the things on the wrong side of that line. But the more I thought about it, the more I had to remind myself, I honestly never thought I'd see the Nuggets win a championship in my lifetime. So regardless of what happens this year, I can be bummed, but I'm still going to know that I got to watch something that I never thought I'd see. And it was a magical run. And people can say what they want, but they didn't just win. They dominated last year's postseason. Anybody that was put in front of them, they ran through them. So you say what they want about the competition, but it's not like they barely beat any of those teams. They destroyed everybody last year. So it was one of the greatest postseason runs you will ever see. Jokic put on one of the best performances in the postseason you will ever see, and so did Murray. So I'm choosing to err on that side at this point in time. I'm still going to be disappointed with the performances. I'm still going to tell you how I feel and give it to you as clear and truthful as I can. But the more I thought about it, the less angry I was about what's happening currently because of what they were able to accomplish last year. And again, I never thought I'd see it. So grain of salt, silver lining, door closed, window open, however you want to think about it. I think that's more what Nuggets fans need to be focusing on a little bit than refs and things of that nature. So there you go.
Right, Robert? I just have to, every time you get rolling and you just keep talking and talking, Robert's just like, okay, man.
Now, the other series out west, you're going to have Dallas and OKC.
I don't see Dallas being able to hold the Thunder down.
I told you, I kind of like Dallas. They're playing great ball right now. They're playing defense. They got two superstars who are playing really well with each other, and I didn't think I would see that in Kyrie and Luka. And I still think OKC is a year away from truly being competitive. I don't think people understand how big of a difference there is between the regular season and the postseason. When you get in a series, and it's not just a one-off game, the rules change. Okay? People learn. You have to start continuously changing what you're doing. In the regular season, OKC was youthful and talented, and they could just run up and down the court on everybody, back-to-back nights, and everything else. It didn't matter. That's a big advantage. In the postseason, Dallas is going to be able to set up schemes to put OKC in situations that they're not comfortable with. And the veteran leadership from what I see in Dallas with Jason Kidd, Luka, Kyrie, some of the vets they have on their bench, I do believe is an advantage that will give them that little edge to where I think they pull this out, and I think it goes 7. So game 1's tonight, I believe.
It's going on right now.
Okay. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously,
Dallas is up 2.
OKC's got home court, so that's a big deal for them. I do think it goes 7, and I do like Dallas. But let's see how the first couple of games unfold, and we can dive into it a little more. But I gotta look. I'll eat a little bit of crow right now. I said Kyrie was a cancer to a locker room. I don't know what changed. If Mark Cuban is just a little bit of a whisperer, but I have seen some growth and maturity from Kyrie Irving. And I was watching him play defense, like legit defense, last series on James Harden and some of the other guys. And then what he can do on the offensive end. I've always said he's one of the most talented basketball players to ever play. Give me him one-on-one, I'm good. Give me him on a team, I wasn't a fan. I'm changing that tune a little bit here. And if he continues to play the way he has, I'll 180 full on and apologize to the man. So that's really what I'm interested to see, because Kyrie had the talent to go down as maybe the best guard to ever play the game. The off-court stuff and the, for lack of a better way of explaining it, the selfishness he played with on the court when he really only kind of played offensive and ball dominant and didn't really play defense, was a problem for me. So watching what he did, especially in that last series with the Clippers, and the way he carried himself as a teammate and the way he opened up the court for others, I'm paying attention, okay? I'm paying attention.
Yeah. I don't like Kyrie. I don't care. I don't like him. So
now,
I do like Luka, but
if you don't like Luka, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Out east, attaboy, Robert, attaboy. Out east, we've got the Knicks and the Pacers, who just had game one last night.
God, what a horrible call.
The kicking call was bad. That was a 5-point swing. It was bad.
No, the charge call.
The charge was a legit call.
Oh, that was a flop like a motherfucker.
Doesn't matter if it flopped. Like, you can't set a screen and move your feet. You can't. It's going to get called every time. So whether DiVincenzo flopped or not, unfortunately, Miles Turner was not set. And here's the thing. That's not on Miles Turner. Again, if you know anything about basketball 101 is big man comes up and sets a position, and he stands there like a statue. It is the guard's responsibility to rub his man into the screen. Halliburton didn't do it. He allowed the space. He didn't drive his man into Turner. He forced Turner to try to step out to get in front of the guy.
Well, me and the announcers both disagree with you.
Who?
Me and the announcers of that game disagree with you.
Except for every analyst I watched this morning said it was a legit charge call and a bad kick call.
I don't see it that way, especially not at that conjuncture of the game. That's like calling pass interference on the last play of the game. They don't fucking call it.
No,
like there's pass interference on every one of those plays. They don't call it. They don't call that. And they shouldn't have called
that. It wasn't that bad of a call. It wasn't. Now, could have it gone as a no call? Yeah. But to act like it's an egregious call, no. The kickball, though, that was egregious. And that was a 5-point swing because the Pacers were about to go 3-on-1 fast break the other way. And instead of doing that, Jalen Brunson buries a 3. And it was a tie game when that kickball happened.
Which that was a bad call, too.
It was a tie game when that happened. Jalen Brunson threw a lazy bad pass, and he got saved, unfortunately. So that, to me, was the really bad call. But
why isn't that reviewable?
I don't know.
If you can review, if you can slow motion review stuff out of bounds, why is a kickball not reviewable?
If you're going to have replay, everything that's a whistle should be reviewable. Period. There's no point in having replay if it's not. And that goes for the NFL too. Look, you still only give the coaches 2 challenges. If they win both of them, they can have their third. So if they want to try to throw the flag on a holding call, which is probably never going to get overturned, whatever way it was called, that's on the coach for being a dumbass. You don't add any more opportunities to challenge, but there's zero reason why, with this technology and you're allowing other calls to be called, why you would say some are eligible and some aren't. For any sport, it's stupid. So cheers, Pinky, because I'm full on board with that one. But I think we're going to get it.
Right. Yeah, there we go, Robert. My man.
I could see this going gentleman's sweep in New York's favor, or I could see it going 7 games and a coin flip for either team to win. I really cannot lock this down because, honestly, outside of Jalen Brunson, if something happens to him, the Knicks are done. They're done.
Oh, if he rolls an ankle, like they're
Dude,
like
if he cannot play, the Knicks are done.
well, if he doesn't put up 30, they're done.
Dude, the man's on a 4 or 5 game 40.5+ assist streak. The only other dude to ever do it in the history of the game is Michael Jordan. Like what Jalen Brunson doing right now is special. And if you haven't watched him play, find out when the next Knicks game is. Sit your ass down and watch because it is popcorn viewing entertainment.
I mean, if there's two guys you want to watch right now, it's Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards.
Absolutely.
Those are the two. They both play with that dog in them. They're fun to watch. They're exciting. They're good dudes. Like they're good guys to root for as well.
Fully agree. Fully agree. So I cannot. The more I think about it, the less sure of my thoughts I am with this New York and Indy series. I keep going back and forth, and I keep making myself even more confused. Tyrese Halliburton started off the year before the in-season tournament looking like he could be MVP and playing at a high all-star level. Since about all-star break, it has been average, and it hasn't come back up. But it's still
that's being very kind.
I'm trying to be kind tonight, Pinky.
They were scoring like 120, 130 on everyone. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know what changed, and it was just like, whoa, is that the same team?
So I cannot decide what Indiana is, but again, without Jalen Brunson, the Knicks are nothing.
Oh, dude, they'd be so bad. So yeah, if you want to put him in the MVP voting, I'd be cool with it. I know he didn't. I don't think he got the consideration, but I'd be cool with it because yeah, if he were there, if he got hurt, they'd be epically bad.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I could see a gentleman sweep, or I could see a 7-game series. I don't think New York can sweep them. I
got Knicks in 6.
You got Knicks in 6. I don't hate that. But like I said, the more I do my analytics and dive into it and start looking at matchups and what they can do and what they can do to counter it and the chess match and back, I just get even more unsure of how I feel about that series. I will say Knicks win, but I'm not super confident about it for so many different reasons. Mainly because if anything happens to Jalen Brunson, they're done. The other series,
Celtics move on.
What?
Celtics move on.
Well, hear me out real quick. The Celtics without Porzingis, they're hurting. And I've said it before, and they come back down to earth. And I said this year, this is Jason Tatum's best season, the most consistent he's ever played. Well, guess who showed up when the playoffs started? Inconsistent Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And when you have that, you saw what happened last year with Miami. And Cleveland does have talent. Now, I'm not picking Cleveland to win, but I'm just saying I would not be surprised if we saw an upset.
So
I truly would.
Tatum did not have a great game tonight. Brown did have a good game. But when you got good old Colorado D. White balling out, like UCCS D. White balling out, like they crushed it by 25. Like I just don't see the Cavs making this a series at all. They don't play the defense that's going to be needed.
That's where I was going to say the kicker lies, is unless Cleveland decides to really put that effort forth on that defensive end, they're not going to be able to do it because Boston will play defense. Now, again, Cleveland is still so young. I think Mobley's only like 23. Darius Garland is like 23. Mitchell's only like 27. They've got a lot of really young talent still that are getting experience.
Yeah,
they got it last year. They're getting more this year.
The problem they have is they got Max Strus playing 35 minutes and getting 5 points. That's not going to get it done.
There's some catches there. I mean, there's a flawed roster still, okay? But again, because of no Porzingis and Boston, for whatever reason, just not showing up sometimes, it would not surprise me if we saw an absurd upset. Now, I think Boston wins in 5. After saying all that, I think Boston wins in 5. I do think Cleveland gets one because, dude, I'm sorry, but when Tatum and Brown are that inconsistent, you open the door.
I just don't think Mitchell went for 35 and still they lost by 25. Like I just don't see the
Miami got one without Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and all those dudes, like their whole team was on fire from 3. Like it was a miracle. We watched that one in Detroit.
I'm just saying. Cleveland could do the same thing.
Fuck. Well, I think the Avs are going to lose, fellas. They're down 3-0. I think that game's over.
That's still the first period.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't matter. It's in Dallas, right?
It is in Dallas.
Yeah, so, it's game 1. We're okay. We lost game 1 to Winnipeg. What happened, Pinky?
I mean, we smoked them after that, but
won 4 in a row and moved right on, right? Like, we're good. Don't worry about it. Shit. I'm not worried about the Avs right now. It's going to be a much tougher series than Winnipeg, but I'm not worried about the Avs right now. So that's the NBA in a nutshell. We will obviously continue to talk about it as the playoffs roll along, but there's some interesting storylines going down right now for sure. Pinky, hit us with a little bit of NHL while you're at it.
Well, thankfully, our buddy Cody went ahead and gave us his predictions tonight. So, for round 2, we've got Boston is playing the Florida Panthers. They're up a game. It's 1-0. And Cody says the Bruins will win in 6.
Whew.
Which Panthers have been playing really good hockey, so that's a pretty good that's pretty good there. We've got the Oilers and the Canucks, and he's got Oilers in 6. Canucks did not play really well in that first playoff round, and they won, but they didn't play well. So Cody thinks the Oilers are going to pull this one out. And then we've got Hurricanes and the Rangers, which they're currently in OT right now, tied 3-3. Rangers are 1-0. He thinks the Hurricanes are going to win that series in 6. So they need to come out and win this game, or they're going to be putting some doubt on that prediction from Cody. And
all right.
A lot of people are like, New York right now is on fire with the Knicks playing well and the Rangers in the second round. A lot of people are picking the Rangers to go all the way. Like, New York City is literally on fire, and they haven't had anything to be pumped up about since Eli Manning. That's how long it's been. Like, it's been a long time since New York sports fans have had anything to be excited for. Sometimes they get excited for the Yankees, and then the Yankees break their hearts because they're never as good as their payroll.
Let's not even talk about the Yankees, man. Their whole thing, I'm not a Yankees man. I'm just gonna come right out and say that.
Robert doesn't like the Yankees. All right.
I'm a Red Sox guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were a Rockies guy. What the fuck?
If I have to choose between, I thought we weren't allowed to speak out the name that shall not be spoken on this podcast.
Right.
So I had to choose somebody different. Thank you very little.
Penalty on Pinky. I guess I'll have to drink.
Yep,
Smart, Robert.
Yeah. As much as I would like to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it because I know what's happening. So we're not moving on.
I got
they're epically bad.
I got a soft spot for the Yankees because that was my grandfather's and dad's team. So the only thing I dislike about the Yankees is their ridiculous rule of no facial hair other than a mustache. That is just stupid as hell. just stupid.
But anyway, going back to the NHL, didn't mean to segue off of that, Pinky.
It's what we do. He's got Hurricanes in 6. And then the Avs are playing the Stars. And he's got Avs in 5.
Smart. Like I said, it's exactly what happened last series. No issues.
So we shall see. We shall see.
Now, the kicker is, his first round predictions were not stellar.
Hit or
So
miss.
now that he's on the Avs, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, after game 1, he might change his prediction.
Yeah, well, it's all right. I'm not. Winnipeg smoked us game 1 too. Winnipeg, what was it? 6-3, 7-3 by the end, something like that. Game 1,
7-6. They were up it was 6-3, and then we got it to 6-5. Then they got that last goal, and then we got one with a minute left to make it 7-6.
Okay. Well,
So
either way,
it looked closer than it really was.
Yeah.
But because we were fighting back the whole game. I'm not watching this since it's on ESPN, so I don't know if Georgie's blind or the last goal was a power play goal. Power play goals are tough, man, because you're already shorthanded. So I don't know the first 2 goals. I don't know the context of were those on Georgie, were they on the defense? I know that game 1, Josh Manson was literally the reason why 2 goals got scored. One of the first 2 were both on him and his shitty defense. So we'll see how that plays out. I do expect most of these series to be 6-7 game series. I think it's Avs in 6. I don't see them going in 5, but that's my opinion. And Thunder are up 8 or 6. Thunder up 6 now, and we're getting close to halftime. We'll see. I like the Thunder. I'd love Thunder Nuggets, Thunder Wolves. I think that matchup is really interesting in the Western Conference Finals. If the Wolves win, I'm rooting for them to go all the way. Ant Edwards is just fun. He's a dog. I love the way he talks about going out and playing in front of all the fans because they paid to watch you play. I feel like that's the right attitude to have. Because again, at the end of the day, we don't, as fans, when we buy tickets to a game, it's either for the home team or for you want to go see that player. When the last time I took Junior, I know Junior would love to see Wemby. So I got to take him to go see the Spurs. If they sit Wemby that game, tickets that I bought 2 months in advance are just a waste. I mean, it was still cool because we got to see the Nuggets, but we were there to see the Nuggets and we wanted to see Wemby play, right? To see the
that
alien
honestly has been one of my favorite things about this year so far is getting to see Wemby play and him actually winning some stuff. And I'm like, hey, I actually can link the two and enjoy this moment.
And you could just see the different things that guy can do that nobody else can do.
Absolutely. It was really, really cool.
His presence. He gets another 15 pounds on him. They get some players around him, man. That is a scary guy.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the next couple off seasons because he will draw stars there.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know though if the Stars want to play for Pop anymore. We'll see. Because, and I don't mean that as in they don't want to play for Pop, because I think the respect he has around the league, people will play for him. I don't know how long he's going to be coaching. And if you're going to go down there to play with Wemby and Pop, and then he's done in 2 years, and you signed a 5-year deal, is that what you really signed up for? So that's where I'll be interested to see how San Antonio handles the next couple of off seasons, because dudes are going to want to play with Wemby, and Texas being, income state free, definitely helps guys want to go down there because they get
when you're making that kind of money, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt.
So there are some things going for San Antonio for sure moving forward, which again is another reason why I am so disgusted with Calvin Booth and his decisions.
We shall see. Again, it's tough right now, but again, we still got a couple more years with Joker and Jamal. Jamal's calf is playing a part in his sucking as well. But again, all good things. We'll see how it all works, all shakes out, right?
Game 3 is until Friday, so Nuggets have a lot of time to pull their heads out of their ass.
Maybe you need to put your game plan together and at Michael Malone. He's on Twitter. Adam.
Look, I have been
Be that guy, Caleb.
I have been hard on Mike Malone in the past. And I said after what he did last year with that team and the playoff run that they went on, I will forego any nitpicking criticism I have of, how he's handling the bench or rotations or things of that nature. And I said it at the very beginning, Pinky. I can't get on Mike Malone right now because I truly don't think the team's played to a point where I can judge if the game plan's being run or not. I don't know what Mike Malone has put together because I don't feel like the players have executed anything yet. So I can't judge the coach and his game plan because the players have been so poor. There's nothing to judge yet. So, and like I said, I'll finish on this. The game plan I laid out, I thought was pretty obvious. I did. And so I have a hard time believing that Mike Malone doesn't see the same things. I just do. So it's going to be up to the players.
Like I said, maybe you should add him and find out.
Hey, I added George Karl and asked him if he'd be willing to let some fans ask some tough questions, and he never responded. So
he knows better. He knows better. He doesn't want no part of this. Bless you, Robert.
If he ever read any of our social medias going back, he probably wouldn't want to do it anyways.
All right. So
that was NBA and NHL all wrapped up in a bow there.
Yep. I have nothing on MLB right now. I got nothing.
I'll give you one quick one.
I just watched the Braves.
If anybody's out there still thinking Shohei Ohtani isn't the best player in the game, just don't watch baseball anymore because you don't know shit.
Braves beat the Red Sox today. There we go.
I don't care. If you guys haven't been paying attention, when we're done, go check out Shohei Ohtani's stat line for the season. It's absurd. And keep in mind, he's just hitting this year. Wait until he does the same thing next year and he's pitching again. This is the greatest baseball player to ever play the game, in my opinion. And I only need the 3 or 4 year sample size right now. That's all I need. I'm good. This is the greatest baseball player to ever play the game. It's absurd what he's doing. I said last year, I wonder what would happen if he focused solely on hitting for a season. We're seeing it. Just talk amongst yourselves real quick. I got to give a stat line because I was blown away. Just talk amongst yourselves real quick.
Again, it'll take a lot, and it'll take a couple more years, but Mickey Mantle to me is still the best player to ever play. And probably getting most of that from my dad. I didn't watch Mickey Mantle. He was done playing before I was born. But the stories, I did do a report on him in elementary school or middle school. Watched his film, read books about him. That guy was a baller. And if he didn't, and again, most of the guys were drunks and guys who partied hard. If he had today's regimen and all that, I just he would be astronomically good.
You're gonna go that route. Go look at Lou Gehrig.
Dude
had 3 years off for World War II service.
Well, Lou Gehrig, Ted Williams.
What he did before and after that. There's some old names in baseball.
You could make the argument to this day that Bob Gibson's still the best pitcher to ever play.
I still think the more I dive into baseball history as I get a little bit older, and not just focus on the current and truly absorb the stats, I don't know how you can't say Bob Gibson's not the greatest pitcher to ever play. I really don't. But listen,
write that down, Robert. Write that down. That's knowledge for you, buddy.
Shohei Ohtani. We're just over a month through the season, guys. So 25 games or something like that. I don't have it exact. This is Shohei Ohtani's stat line right now. 31 runs, 54 hits, 14 doubles, a triple, 11 home runs, 27 RBIs, 103 total bases, 18 walks, only 31 strikeouts, and he's batting 9 stolen bases, and the dude is batting .370. I don't care what you say.
And
how do you not say wait until he's gonna pitch again next year, And the dude's gonna go like with the Dodgers. He's gonna go like 19-2,
and he's
with, like,
beating
a
illegal
2.50
gambling charges
ERA.
as well.
Dude, oh man, he is so good.
Pinky's like, let me just spritz that in there real fast.
He is so good.
Caleb was on a roll. He didn't even hear what I said.
Oh, I heard it. I'm ignoring it because there's
Yep.
nothing to base it on. Literally nothing.
Just moving on.
Yeah.
Is that all MLB then?
That's it.
All right.
Drink up, Robert. All right, Robert. I told you guys I'm going to throw you a curveball. We're going to pivot tonight. We were going to talk about what teams we're really excited for. We want to take an extra week to prepare and get our notes together. So this kind of happened on the 5280 podcast. It was because of a comment I made on the podcast that made them do this. So I'm really interested in your guys' opinions. I'm going to shut up. I know the schedule release is coming out next week for the NFL schedule. And I started looking at the Broncos schedule for next season. And I've got my opinion, but I want to hear your guys' first before I shout out my opinion. I want to know opponent by opponent, loss or win on the Broncos schedule and see what you guys come up with.
Why are we doing that now?
I don't know. It's just something I thought of. I thought it would be fun.
We do a whole episode on records and schedule.
I mean, we'll get to that later, but this is something I thought would be fun for you and Robert to do.
How am I going to do it if the schedule hasn't even been released yet?
You already know who they're playing.
Released. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, Caleb. I got it. So the home opponents are the Browns, the Chiefs, Steelers, Falcons, Chargers, Panthers, Raiders, Colts. Got it?
No, but continue.
You're gonna have to go back and list them one by one so he can comment. But
so we'll just go ahead and start with the Browns there. I personally think that the Broncos.
Clayton, get off the crack pipe. Jesus,
Clayton,
you really doing this?
Clayton, you are high, bro. You are high, and I think you're in Wisconsin. Do they have good weed up there?
This is why I don't want to like. Okay. All right, hit me with the home ones, and I'll give you win losses.
Okay,
right now.
Browns,
loss.
Chiefs.
Okay, hold on.
Loss.
Hold on. Let me get my notepad up. I want to make sure I get this count because I want to see.
I'm not holding to any of this because none of this is official until I actually see the schedule. And
I'm not holding you to it. You said Browns are the loss. Okay.
Chiefs.
Loss.
At home.
Loss.
Steelers.
Loss.
Falcons.
All right, slow it down, Robert. You got to slow it down for me.
Sorry.
And Robert, you can rebuttal if you think differently than him. Okay.
Oh, I will. I'm just listening for Caleb because I've got it in front of me. So
go.
Which one we're talking?
I'll give them a win against the Falcons just because it's at home.
Falcons is an L?
No, I still give them a win because it's at home. I don't feel good about it, but I'll give it to them.
Chargers.
Loss.
Fun fact, Justin Herbert has not won a game in Mile High.
Good. He's also never had a coach, so they're going to ground and pound the shit out of that weak Broncos defense.
The Carolina Panthers.
Win.
The LV Raiders.
Loss.
And the Colts.
Loss.
Now I'll do mine, and then we'll go to away.
All right.
I mean, let me ask you this, Pinky, just so that way I have some foresight into this. Is Junior going to the Browns game?
I take Junior to the Browns game, yes.
So okay.
It's going to be a win.
So So the Broncos win that one.
Good insight. Good insight.
You,
I like the
using
thought
my
process there.
forced
I'll give you that.
telepathy here.
I'll give you that.
Chiefs loss. Steelers win, because come on.
Mm.
I think the Steelers got a chance this year. But we'll see. Falcons, I think that'll be a loss. But I'm also a Cousins fan, so you know.
As am I. You like that?
Yeah. Chargers win. Panthers win, of course. Raiders loss and Colts loss.
Okay.
God, we are not on the same page, fellas.
Yeah, you drank a lot of Kool-Aid this offseason.
No. I'm not. I have valid reasons for all of my picks, but
this will be. Are we going to expand on this on a later episode? I'm hoping is that the
we're
exercise?
going to redo this again as we get once we have the schedule, we know we got like time frames.
Since we're just blind picking, we're not all right. So that's what I did for home. This is the away opponent.
Go slow.
Oh God!
This one is going to be really fun.
Broncos are going to pull me back into misery. You fucking fan base.
Chiefs.
Loss.
Tampa.
Win.
Chargers.
Loss.
Saints.
Win.
Raiders.
Win. I don't know why I like the Raiders and Broncos always splitting their home games opposite, but I do.
Seahawks.
Loss.
Ravens.
Loss.
The New York Jets.
Loss.
And the Bengals.
Loss.
All right.
So Caleb has
3-14.
You have us as 5 and 12. 5 and 12. And Robert, what would you say on that? I haven't been counting yours, but what would you say there for the away schedule?
So for the away, Chiefs loss, Tampa win, Charger win, Saints loss,
Ooh.
Raiders win, Seahawks win, Ravens loss, Jets loss, Bengals loss.
Clayton, no, we don't.
Yeah,
there is some talent. There is not a lot of talent.
Okay, hold on.
There's not.
Let me address this, Caleb. I am more optimistic most of the time than you are. I think we can both agree on that.
I'll give that to you when it comes to the Broncos.
The Broncos have okay talent / depth in certain areas. They don't have a lot of stars, though. They don't have a lot of dogs and stars that can sway a game. We play great. Sean Payton schemes up a good game plan that a team's not ready for. Can we win a couple games? Sure. Will we win a few games that we don't expect to win? I think we will. But overall, we don't have the top end stars where you need them. We don't have an elite pass rusher. We don't have a playmaking linebacker. We don't have a great left tackle. We don't have a playmaking tight end. We have a young receiving core-ish that we don't like. Can they be okay? Can they be average? Sure. are they going to be someone who's going to we can rely on every down, every game? I don't think so. So again, I think you're being a little too positive, Clayton, which is fine.
We also
Nothing
don't
wrong
have
with
a
that.
secondary outside of Surtain.
They're weak in the secondary at the moment, for sure. So,
and like Pinky said, there is no depth on this team. Okay, let's just be clear. This team does not have any depth yet.
All right. So, Robert, I want you to do this for me. Pull out a notepad, computer, on your phone, whatever. I'm gonna give you my list, and let's see how many we get.
Now, wait, real quick, Pinky, before you do that, Clayton, if you've been listening to us, I flat out said the Broncos killed the draft, and I did not expect them to do that.
You did.
So I'm not trying to be instigating anything. Look, Clayton, you know as well as anybody, everybody who watches us, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about the Broncos, regardless of anything else.
You don't go through a rebuild and go through 13-3 the next season. It doesn't happen.
All right. You can if you're the Bengals and you just had Joe Burrow out for a year.
but they're not in a complete rebuild. That's completely.
I'm just saying it can happen in the NFL, right? Like we've seen crazier things. The Broncos are just not in that position.
Anyway, so
all right, write them down. Write Pinky's down. I want to hear this.
Do I need to list them for you, Pink?
No, I got them.
I can tell you guys this right off the top. Every AFC West he's splitting. I will guarantee he is splitting every AFC West 1-1. Am I wrong, Pinky?
You are wrong.
Oh, you're letting the Chiefs win both of them?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
I'll explain. So Browns win.
What?
I do not like Deshaun Watson, bro.
You cannot like Deshaun Watson all you want, but what in the world thinks that? No. Okay. You're right.
And,
go do your thing.
Hey, this is my opinion, right?
I know. I'm gonna shut
your
up. My
opinion.
bad.
I think the Browns win, or I think the Browns will lose in Denver. Chiefs will be a loss. Steelers will be a loss.
Oh! I am slightly surprised. Continue, my guy.
And I have not gone to a Steelers game in Mile High that they've won, so I probably won't go to this one.
I fucking hate going to Steelers games in Mile High because them terrible towels travel so well.
They do, but they always lose. Every time I've gone to a Steelers-Broncos game, the Steelers lose, and their terrible towels are flying way down low by the time the game's over. And they have to do that march down the stadium. Falcons lost.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Chargers win. Carolina win. Raiders win. Colts win.
Ooh. Explain the Colts to me a little bit.
I'm not. Anthony Richardson did not finish a game last season. And they let go of Gardner Minshew.
I mean, everything I'm hearing out of the Colts camp is really good things about Richardson.
But he did not finish a game.
So, okay. So
that is a fact. He didn't finish a game.
Let me ask you this then. Take that out of the equation. He plays the whole game. You still feel the same way?
I think it'd be close. I think it'd be, fourth quarter team that's got the ball last. Like I think it'll be close. I don't think it's a blowout by any means.
Do you think the rosters are that close?
I don't think the Colts roster is that great.
Ooh. Okay.
On defense, they have DeForest Buckner. They've got DeForest Buckner. The rest of that defense is pretty weak.
I mean, they were a top 10 defense last year, weren't they?
I don't know if they were that high.
I'll double check it.
You'll have to look it up. That's my feelings. I got the away schedule. Chiefs loss. Tampa loss. Chargers loss. Saints win. Raiders loss. Seahawks loss. Ravens loss. Jets loss. Bengals loss. What's that come out to, Robert? That's a nice hat you have on, by the way.
It is. Thank you. I was going to give a shout out later. We haven't got there yet, though. I'm at 6-11.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Indy was roughly, I'm not going to go too deep in it right now, but they were 9th. I'm just throwing that out there, Pinky, because I know they don't have any big names, but as a unit, they play really well. Something the Broncos know nothing about.
Again, they are a big unknown because at the end of the day, Anthony Richardson didn't finish a game. He had moments, but he didn't play like a whole game to like get a feel for whether he's going to pull out those wins or not, right?
Let me just throw this out there real quick because I think this is interesting. Do with it what you want. But points per game last year, Broncos average was 24.3. Indy's was 24.4. So
wash.
Yep, I would agree. So then to me, it's offense. And who has the better offense? And I have a hard time saying it's not Indy hands down. Like
I don't think that's a stretch. But then also it just comes down to, is Anthony Richardson that dude? We don't know. That's a big question mark to me. I don't know.
That's fair. Okay, continue, sir.
So,
Yeah.
Pinky says they're 6-11. I think their ceiling is 7 wins, in my opinion, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
You got them at 6-11, and you're giving me the side eye for having them at 5-12.
No, I didn't give you the side eye. I just think we
kind of felt like a side eye, didn't it, Robert? A little bit.
We disagreed on how they get there.
I think it was the disagreement of teams.
Look, here's the deal. I will say the likelihood of the Chargers beating them twice is probably slim. Would probably be a split as well. You're probably right. They split home and home with the Raiders, the Chargers, and they lose both.
Well, here's the thing. For the Raiders, the Broncos have not beaten the Vegas Raiders.
I know.
I think they're going to get that monkey off their back. They have Gardner Minshew. They have Aiden O'Connell. They do not have Josh Jacobs, who was the Broncos' killer.
Yeah, but, geez, dude, come on. How do people keep underrating Gardner Minshew? And the fact that they're going to have weapons on offense?
I think Gardner Minshew's fine. He's fine. But
Bowers, Mayer, and Adams, how are the Broncos going to stop that?
Quarterback play was not what killed the Broncos. It was their inability to stop Josh Jacobs.
That's what killed You're not wrong, sir. Cheers. You're not wrong.
So I think they will get that monkey off their back. They'll get swept by the Chiefs. I still think the Chargers, I wouldn't say they're going to charger. I just don't think they're as talented on offense right now as we want to think they are.
I think my initial gut reaction is Jim Harbaugh is going to run the ball down the Broncos' throat on a epic level. Now, we all know I'm super high on J.K. Dobbins. Dude is supremely talented, but cannot stay on the field, right?
He won't make it to that game. You know that.
I still believe that dude is not injury prone. He is just injury unlucky. I've gone through time and time again the differences. I'm not going to hash it out now, but he came out and said he's 100%. And I will err on the side of believing him for now until I see otherwise. And if that's the case, we saw what him and Gus Edwards did in Baltimore. We saw what Jim Harbaugh focused on the offseason, and it was that offensive line. Justin Herbert is easily a top 3 quarterback in the league on any given day. So I do not believe you will be able to use the Chargers charger as long as Jim Harbaugh is the coach.
I am in total agreement with you. I don't think that that's going to be a thing anymore. I just don't think they have the offensive talent to yes, will they be able to run the football? Sure. Will they be able to throw the football to whatever they have there?
Question. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think
the question mark.
And I still don't think their defense is very good.
Can they stay healthy? They can be dangerous, but they've yet to do that a single season.
I mean, they've got three players on defense, and those 3 players are players who are not known to stay healthy for a full season.
You're right, and that is the thing. That's the giant kicker.
I
still maintain Derwin James might be the best defensive player in the league, but the dude can't play more than 7 games a year.
the best safety in the league. I don't know about defensive player, but he's definitely the best
I
safety.
do believe he could be on that level. We just never seen him play a full season. Like he gives me oh my God, how am I going to draw a blank? I can see it. Earl Thomas, Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed. Like, he gives me those hardcore vibes, but he's bigger and more aggressive. The problem is, again, he just doesn't stay on the field.
Those are Hall of Fame players, if you didn't know. I know. Robert.
No, I got that much. I'm not totally oblivious.
So
you're just so young. 11, like, we watch those guys. I don't know if you did.
We're not that far off. I am baffled that Broncos fans think this season's going to be this insane improvement when there's still so many holes on that.
I still think they can be a better team and not win games. And that's okay.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I think we went through this for the last 8 years of that constant, like, if we add this piece, we add that piece, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And we weren't. Right? We weren't. So then finally we started getting rid of some of these guys, and we're going to get rid of some more guys. Get ready. Like, it's going to happen. Sean Payton is getting the guys he wants in place. He's putting his legacy on the line. Coaching matters. We got a couple wins last year that we had no business getting, and that's based on coaching. So I think once we get to a point where we have a good roster, we're going to be in a good place. We don't have that roster yet. You know,
Here's the other kicker. Here's the other kicker, Pinky. I know I'm going to get blasted for this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I love Bo Nix. Pinky knows it as well as anybody. I've been talking about Bo Nix all season, college football season, okay? How he was badass. I don't understand how he's being graded so low coming up to the draft. I don't understand. So Pinky can back me. I love Bo Nix. But I would have rather had Shedeur Sanders. I'd have rather waited a year and gone all in on Shedeur Sanders because I think he's a better quarterback overall.
I still want to see more from him this year before I think go that far, honestly.
The upside on him is more. It is. I think they're both similarly accurate quarterbacks, but he's got a bigger arm. I think he's slightly more athletic, but doesn't use it. I just think there's a bigger upside there.
I'm going to agree with you on those points, except for one thing. I don't know if Shedeur is going to have it up here to the point that I feel like the vibe he's putting off, and I'm a Shedeur fan. I see the accuracy. A lot of people talk shit about him. I'm like, if you don't watch him play and you don't watch the shitty O-line and can you name any of the receivers Colorado has? Like, they don't have any of the household names. You'll see the accuracy. But I feel like he's missing something up here, in my opinion.
This is where I'll give this little tidbit to you, and you can dissect it how you wish. But I believe mentally he is all there and then some. The problem we're seeing right now is he's still under daddy's thumb. And if you know anything about sports and you see a kid playing for their father, they will never go against their father and their coach. It won't happen. They will defend, even if they know they're wrong.
You could make the point, though, that his father protects him, though, too.
Right? That's fine. And if you want to go the other way with that, too, I'll be good with that. I think because of what I know about Dion and how much I love Dion and how much I've yet to hear a teammate ever say that he was a bad teammate. He was like the best dude in the locker room, right? That's like all you ever hear about Dion. So you say what you want about him in the public view, in the media view, prime time and flashy and all that stuff. He went and backed up every ounce of it on the field, and every teammate loved him. I am going to err on the side of that's what Shedeur will do at the next level without his dad around, because he's already got that DNA and knows how to do it. He grew up in locker rooms, guys. He did. So I think what you're seeing right now is a kid being protective of family, not his coach. And that's why you see some of the poor choices being made on social media. That's my take on Shedeur Sanders. So I'm not mad at Bo Nix pick. I think Bo Nix can be Drew Brees poor, Drew Brees light, pro bowlish caliber, really good, really, really good. For
if
the
he
Broncos.
can translate the accuracy, Drew Brees is, we can argue, is one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time.
He is
and
the numbers. Most accurate. We're not.
The numbers play it out, right?
He is the most accurate. Absolutely.
If he can touch that at like 80%. He's got more wheels than Drew Brees ever had.
I was just going to say.
He can move.
I believe their arm talent is the exact same. Bo Nix is just more athletic than Drew Brees. So the only reason I say Drew Brees light right now is because Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in this league. Period. Bar none, hands down. It just is that's fact. So to call him Drew Brees, I think would be a disservice to Drew Brees. So he's got some proving to do. I don't hate the Bo Nix pick. I'm all for it. Anybody that says this is a reach and everything, I was arguing against. I just believe Shedeur would have a higher upside and a bigger opportunity to be able to carry the team.
The only pushback, now again, I guess I'll say, the pushback I would have would be you can't guarantee you're going to be where you need to be to draft Shedeur Sanders. But
you're right. But if you went in the season with Jarrett Stidham and you made it different,
hold on.
12.
Hold on. If we roll into the season with Milf Hunter, pretty sure we get that number 1 pick.
Well, there's zero chance he's playing ever. So he wasn't playing over Stidham. Let's be honest about this.
You know, with some quarterback rehab, I could have seen Zach Wilson starting some games.
I think you could have easily gotten the number 1 pick next year and you wouldn't have had to try that hard. Instead, you went and killed the draft, and now you're in a position where that's not really a possibility.
Which is funny that you say they killed the draft, because the national perspective is it was the
one of the worst drafts out there. Yeah, but it's only because of the Bo Nix pick. The only reason people graded the Broncos draft low, and everybody that graded them low said this flat out, it's because of the Bo Nix pick. And that's because they had some arbitrary bullshit grade on him that some media weird ass put out there on he's not a top-notch quarterback. And I don't know how you watched him play last year and can say that. Pinky brought this up a couple weeks ago. The analytics took out everything he threw within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and he was still the most accurate quarterback in all of college football.
He was rated as number 1 in every category you could measure.
And the only people saying he can't throw the deep ball are people who didn't watch him play. Period. You cannot go back and watch his film and say he can't throw the deep ball. Okay? You can't. Does he throw the best deep ball? No. Does he have the strongest arm? No. But what does he have? Precision and timing. So if you know when to throw it, and you can throw it 40, 50 yards, guess what? That's a deep ball.
Well,
and he does that pretty well.
I wouldn't say Mark Schlereth. His podcast is amazing. I really like his podcast.
Stink is great.
And he's not the greatest quarterback guru, and he'll say that flat out. But he's like, look, guys, watch all of the guys. Do they throw more than a 45-yard pass most of the time unless it's a Hail Mary? No.
That's so
They throw a 45-yard pass on the numbers to where a guy can grab it and keep running. That's what they do. Can he do that?
Absolutely. So anybody that downgraded the Broncos was 3-2 now. Was strictly saying that because they didn't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But look, I can go back last year. Pinky, who did I say was one of the top 3 receivers in the draft last year?
And you're making me think.
It was not me being a homer. It was not me being a homer. I truly believe the talent was there.
Oh, Trey Palmer.
And I'm pretty sure, based on what he did last year behind Evans and Godwin, if people could redo it, he'd be a second-round pick, not a sixth. So when people are evaluating these grades, these arbitrary things, and I've said it before and I'll continue to say it, just because these people have the job doesn't mean they're good at it, guys. There are plenty of couch quarterbacks out there who are better talent evaluators than people in the NFL who actually have the job. That is a simple fact.
Are you ahead of me?
Just because you have a job does not mean you're good at it.
I don't see a goal on here.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm watching it live, and it says 3-2.
How much time is left?
10:34 in the second.
It's 10:34. It's 3-1 according to Bleacher, but.
And they were reviewed. Okay, my bad. They were I got 3-2 Dallas power play right now.
I got 3-2 on Google.
So Bleacher.
Oh wait, are they? Never mind. Hang on. It might have just been reviewed high stick. Oh no, 3-2 Dallas power play.
So,
who scored the goal?
I missed it. I watched the goal, but I wasn't paying attention to who had the puck. But Clayton, we love you, my guy. Please stick with me. I promise I love the Broncos. I'm just giving you what I feel is the truth.
Yeah, again, if they win 6 or 7 games, with 7 to me is like their ceiling, I'm happy. I'm okay. We need high draft picks. We'll have all of our draft picks next year. And we need to draft more impact players.
I'll be honest with you though, if Bo Nix doesn't start from day one, the Broncos already made a mistake.
There's no way he's not starting.
I can't see it either. I'm just throwing that out there early, Pinky. If he does not start from day one, they already fucked up. I can't imagine that happening. Like, I don't see any scenario where that happens. Okay, I don't. I'm just throwing it.
So here, I'll tell you one scenario that doesn't happen. They travel to Baltimore week 1. That's the only scenario I see. Like, you know what? If I'm going to get the shit kicked out of a guy, I'm going to let Jarrett Stidham get the shit kicked out of himself, and then I'll put Bo Nix in. Like, I
don't think I'd hate that. Clayton, you said one other thing that I wanted to touch on real quick since Pinky turned this into a Broncos podcast all of a sudden.
Thrown under the bus.
Hang on, I gotta find. Clayton,
what
in the world have you watched that makes you believe our running game is going to be explosive? Our O-line is average at best. And Javonte, unless he's all of a sudden magically fully recovered, he lost a step.
Hold on. When it comes to overall, and I know PFF is not the say-all, be-all for everything, but our line does rank in the top 10 when it comes to the majority of the statistics.
Yeah, PFF also had the Bears line as the top 10 line. So let's take that with a giant grain of salt.
I don't think we have the full complement of running backs at the moment to take advantage of that O-line.
If Javonte never got hurt and you're bringing in Estime, I could listen to that. I'm not even entertaining it right now. That backfield has a lot to prove going forward. And that offensive line has a lot to prove going forward. I mean, our biggest offseason signing last year shit the bed, basically, based on what we expected and what we received. There's a reason San Francisco let him walk, is basically what I'm saying.
Now, he graded out as one of the highest run blockers.
I know.
He's not a very good pass blocker.
I know, but here's the kicker. You could grade him out as a great run blocker all you want, but when the other team knows that your passing game is shit and you're going to have to run the ball, it changes things. So I believe we'll throw the ball a lot better this year because Nix can run the Sean Payton offense and Russ couldn't. What Sean Payton wanted to do and what Russ is great at do not sync up at all.
Oh, man, and the reports this week that came out just paint Russ in a really bad light as well.
Here's the last thing I'll say about the Broncos.
And then let's move on.
I lost a lot of faith in Sean Payton with his arrogant, I'm better than everybody else take that he fooled the NFL into thinking he wasn't taking Bo Nix. Shut the fuck up. Everybody and their mom knew you were taking Bo Nix. Like, you didn't trick anybody. You didn't fool anybody. You didn't get Minnesota to jump the pick because you were going to. No.
He definitely fooled the Vikings because there's no reason.
Did not. He absolutely did not.
Why move up 2 or 1 spot?
Because the Raiders. Because the Raiders. Everybody knew the Broncos were Knicks and nothing else. Period. End of story. Nobody thought they were taking J.J. McCarthy. Nobody thought they were taking Penix. Nobody in their right mind thought they were going anywhere but Bo Nix. So for Sean Payton to come out and act like he's some kind of super genius that fooled everybody, you arrogant son of a bitch, shut up.
I mean, I can't. He isn't. He's a jerk, bro. He really is. That's fine. I don't need you to be a great guy. Just win me some fucking football.
Agreed. I don't need my president to be a good human being. I need him to care about America, right? I don't need my head coach to be nice. I need him. I need my president
to not be a douchebag.
No, don't care. Don't care what kind of human being you are if you're making sure everything is taken care of.
So anyway, this is the perfect time to talk about.
That's the same with. I feel the same way about Sean Payton. Don't care if you're a good guy, a bad guy. Don't care. Are you a good coach? And I've said it before. I'm still waiting for him to make me eat crow. I hope he does. But if I'm leaning on one side of the fence or the other, game's passed him by. That's the side of the fence I lean on right now. We'll see.
Robert,
Pinky?
let's talk some nonsense and some movies. Let's get that positivity back up.
All right. So I'm just gonna put this out there for everyone for next week. The Bad Batch finale has aired. So Caleb and I will probably talk about that briefly next week for the nonsense section. So
I like that, Robert. Plan on it. We're talking some Star Wars next week. Done and done.
We're just gonna go ahead and get that out there.
I'm all in for that. We get our best views on TikTok from Star Wars.
There are some stuff to digest. What's going on your camera?
We do.
There are some stuff to digest with things going on. A lot of good stuff. But tonight, actually, there's been a list that's been built over several months that I'm ready to share with you both. This is all the remakes, or I shouldn't say all the remakes, a good portion of movies that I feel like deserve a remake given their content, not for who is in it or anything like that. And, this is a cult classic. This is something I feel like in today's world actually could do something in a movie theater.
Ooh, I like where this is at. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not ending on sports. Nonsense is in the title for a reason. It's sports, nonsense, whiskey. It's not sports nonsense and whiskey.
And now Pinky's
the nonsense is a separate subject.
Ooh.
Robert's bringing it in hot. I want to hear this.
So this is probably, I don't want to say it's a lesser known one. This is one of my favorite concepts that's ever been put in movies. And it was Reign of Fire with Matthew McConaughey and Christian
Hell
Bale.
Yeah. Oh, hot.
I
Here's
would
my guy.
kill for that movie to be done today.
Damn, and that was actually a solid
That was a
movie
solid
the way it was
movie.
done the first time.
It was underwhelming.
I disagree, my guy. That was solid.
I thought the actors made it what they could make it, but I don't think the story
needed more
dragon. I mean, everything needs more dragon.
Completely
more dragon.
And let's be honest. In my personal opinion, look, guys, this is not a hate on any culture. Okay, I don't want this to go there, but for me personally, I am a big fan of the European version dragon over the Asian version dragon.
Right.
To me, the Asian version dragon is not appealing for myself. I love the symbolism of the Asian version dragon, but the more snake-like dragon is not my cup of tea. So the way it was portrayed in Reign of Fire, to this day, I still think holds up as one of the best portrayals of a dragon.
Completely. And that's why I like when Game of Thrones started gaining traction and all of this stuff, and the dragons really started coming out. And everyone's like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if Game of Thrones was modern? I'm like, well, we had that back way when, but everyone shit on it. So that's
What
my
what was the one that had Sean Connery as the voice of the dragon?
Brave.
Braveheart?
No, it wasn't
They're
Braveheart.
not,
No. I almost said that
Dragonheart.
too, Robert. You're good.
Dragonheart.
Dragonheart.
That had
Dragonheart needs a remake as well.
That was on the list. Because that had Dennis Quaid in it.
Yes.
That was almost there.
I like it. That's a what do we call it? An honorable mention.
Yes, an honorable mention. Yes, because that was
Good
a great,
pull, Pinky.
great
Cheers.
movie.
Good pull.
Which honestly is where another one where with having Dune coming out and things like that. Another great movie concept that I always thought was tremendous was Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
Yes,
that would be my second one.
Yes,
I would kill for a Waterworld movie, but done actually very well with some thought put into it and actual care to give us a really good action movie.
I think it'd love
great.
That movie. Now obviously it's a B-roll cult classic Saturday afternoon nap movie, but
100%.
The concept
100%.
is so badass. It just did not. It's like what's it called? Postman with Kevin Costner as well. Badass concept. I love the idea. I watch the movie if it comes on, but it just didn't. It didn't pull together all the way for one reason or another. So love the Waterworld call. Yes,
completely. This one is for Pinky specifically because this is also one I've been craving for, yearning for, because there's always been, oh hey, something's happening with it, but nothing ever comes. This would be Spawn. I would kill for a very accurate, dark, sinister Spawn movie.
It could be done now properly.
It is so easy. And all you have to do is literally take the comic and put it on screen. Or the HBO version, the animated HBO version.
Yes, you're that. Yes.
Boom.
Absolutely, Pinky. I think up until Marvel finally came out and started running the shit, people didn't think you could get away with doing comic book accurate movies. I think that's the issue, that Spawn tried to be comic book accurate to a point, but they try to mix like real life and comic together, I guess is a way to say it, and it just didn't come out. But like
the best part of Spawn,
John Leguizamo in that movie was fire.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo as the clown is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Completely. So great.
Like, but that's the best part of that movie.
Ooh, I love that. Robert, you are killing it right now, my guy. Keep it rolling.
So
you got me on that one.
This next one is for me personally. I have always been a Sean Connery fan, but I've always envisioned this movie being something more of what it ever came out with. And that was the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is not
so much.
Which is not a horrible movie.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's still a great movie, but it could have been so much better.
It's almost like it was fast forwarded in a sense, to where like you could break that out into 2-3 movies, or go the new kind of route and throw it on like HBO Max or Netflix and run it as a season. Yeah, dude, that could really.
No, that is definitely a series.
Yes,
that is a series.
That could be just that, because then you get the backstories for each of them from an episode, and just really go with it.
I love that. Yes.
This one is also one that I just felt like came out at the wrong time, and that was John Carter with Taylor Kitsch.
Yes, Robert, I actually love that movie, but only because I don't know a lot about it, and
the books are great.
The more I heard and the more I researched a little bit, they really strayed from the source material. But boy, that should be redone, and that could be epic.
You know, another movie that came out at that same time that I think just didn't get the play that it should have, Prince of Persia.
Yes, that's on the list. because that had such a great concept.
Is that the one with Jared Leto?
No, that's
No,
Jake
no.
Gyllenhaal. Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. And it's not
And-
bad. It's not a bad movie.
No.
Is that the one with the Sands
Sands
of
of Time.
Time
Yeah.
and the dagger and everything? Oh,
Uh-huh.
it's Gyllenhaal, not Leto? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that having some really good potential as well. Absolutely. That's the princess, and he goes on the run with her. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Based off of the video game series, which is one of the very, I don't want to say first, but really like actually tried to do a video game adaptation. And then one of my last ones, and you'll appreciate this, Pinky. I did put real thought into it because as much as I love it, and I love Hayden, this movie could do some tremendous things, and it could be a great series if they go with it, and that would be Jumper.
Concept's badass. That concept.
And that was my whole vision with these remakes is not what movies would look great in today's world. It would be the concept and
you and I are on the same page with these, all of them, Robert. I actually liked Hayden Christensen in that role a lot. I thought he played that really well.
Same. I did
For
too.
whatever reason, the movie fell flat, but I actually thought the whole movie, the opposing character that had the same abilities, I thought was really well cast because you believed he was like
Samuel L. Jackson. He was going. It was just it was awesome.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, and this is such a huge cult classic that this would probably be blasphemy. And I absolutely love the movie, but I could see this being redone and just fire if it was done correctly. And that's The Fifth Element.
Oh yeah, yeah, but
I've thought about that one very hard.
I would say like an expansive series for The Fifth Element would be fun because I thought they brought a lot together in that movie.
I think you could do a a trilogy type, like Lord of the Rings, if you will, and you could break that arc into the three movies and kill it.
Gary Oldman, Bruce Willis,
Uma Thurman, right?
No. The girl that did all the Resident Evil movies.
Mila Djokovic.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker
killed it.
If that movie, I don't have cable, but if I had cable with all the channels,
it's on Tubi.
Dude,
it's on that movie. You can watch it for free right now.
My wife and I sit down every time it comes on. That instantly gets put on the TV.
So good.
Well, that's where I was going. If I had cable with all those different options, and I'm scrolling through, and that movie's on, like I would stop right there and be like, okay, we're watching that.
And it's hard to say remake it because like it's
so good.
So good. It really is. Even the corniness that they included fits so well with the overall.
I would like to just expand the universe. That's all.
Yes.
Like, and that's why I think a 3 movie, because you could give Bruce Willis's character a little, you could give him a little prequel, if you will, build up to how he got to where he was. Then that middle part could be a little bit more focused on the priest and the Fifth Element themselves. And then the third part would almost be that end battle that you saw in Lord of the Rings at the Black Gate, and them sitting at that temple at the end with the elements coming into play. And I'll throw another one out there.
Hold on. Do we need one more?
I've got a tiebreaker.
Hang
on for my last one.
Let me throw one more out there, and we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it after. I'm just scared I'll forget. I'll forget it.
No, let's go.
I know nothing about it before it came out, but the overall concept of the story I thought was amazing. It just wasn't done well by the same guy who did The Fifth Element, and that is the City of a Thousand Planets, or
Valerian. Valerian. Yeah. I would kill to have that movie redone.
I think that could be something really special too, and the director just fumbled it, unfortunately.
Yep, completely. No, well, I love Valerian when it came out, but I was like, still, that concept could have been more. There was so much to unpack.
Let's like one of the things I've been thinking about with movies and things like that, when you try to fit so much in to a 2-hour or less, like you just lose it. Like for me, I'll be honest, completely honest. The issue this. You guys are gonna laugh really hard. The issue with Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds is the fact that they take a storyline that is so involved and so in depth.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And they
Completely
make it an hour and 40-minute movie.
Cheers
That's what
to
happened
you.
to
can't do
Venom. Let
that.
there be carnage. You can't just do that. You just can't do
Well,
it.
hold on. The whole Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and I think Woody Harrelson actually does a fine job.
He was
Because
great.
Woody Harrelson is a badass.
He's awesome.
We don't
Does
need
he
a
do
fucking
anything
love
bad?
story.
I mean, let's be honest. Does Woody Harrelson
No.
do anything bad?
And it doesn't need to be an hour and 30 minutes. It needs to be, again, like you said, developed.
Pinky,
which
I like where
is-
you're going. Here's my call it the Caleb scale. Comedies should always be under 2 hours. No questions asked. Period. If it's a good comedy, it is under 2 hours. If you are trying to make a film and tell a true story, anything under 2:30, you're cutting yourself short.
Absolutely.
That's
We can
always
agree on
been
that.
that's always been my thought process. So
So,
I've had this bad
Cheers to
habit
that.
of cheers. I've had this bad habit since I was young, 12, 13. I would look at movie times and instantly already have a judgment of the movie
Somebody
just
else.
based on the runtime.
One of us.
there are very few movies that when you look at you're exactly right. If you look at the runtime, there's very few movies that you go, you know what? That the only movie that comes to mind that I'm like, you know what? That movie it was a short runtime. It was not animated, but I felt like it fit and it was perfect. Was Zombieland.
Yes.
It's a
The
comedy.
original
Because it's a
Zombieland.
comedy.
It's
Because
a comedy,
straight,
though.
straight and to the point.
That's a
Great.
comedy, exactly. So it should be under 2 hours. It's a comedy. It fits it.
So
Any comedy that goes over 2 hours is not great.
Robert, we should just
and
start.
that goes for rom-coms and all the entire overarching category. If you're a comedy of any kind and you went over 2 hours, you failed.
yeah.
We should start a production company where we go back and we take Robert's list, we come up with some other ones, and we literally go, okay, guys, here's how we make a lot of money with this concept. Boom, 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 boom. And boom, send it out to the we copyright it, we send it out to the production companies, and boom.
I like it.
And these last two are going to be the most important for this exact reason, Pinky.
All right, give it.
They're both wildly different in stories. So the first one is going to be Aragon.
I never saw it, so I can't even comment. Never saw it.
That movie. I remember watching the trailers and being so excited for that movie, and then watching it and going, "Wait, what?
Yeah,
huh?
It missed you so much.
It fell so
I don't know why, but
the books are great.
I remember seeing the previews for it, and everybody was hyped. And I love dragons. I'm a big dragon guy, and I go, "Ooh, European dragon." I like, and then. I don't know. I can't tell you what it is. I can't put my thumb on it. But after I saw the trailers, I went, that's not going to be good. And I never saw it. And I don't know why I felt that way.
You did not miss anything.
I don't have any reference to the books or anything.
Books are great.
That's one that, Pinky, you know how I am with TV. That is my relax, my release. I can tell you all about it. That is one that's come on TV and I've skipped over on a Saturday afternoon. Not even tried.
And you didn't miss anything.
And if you really feel that ever need to do it, it is on Disney Plus right now. But
yeah, it's
not worth it.
Robert, you're asking me, you don't. Saturday afternoon means I can fall asleep while watching it and turn to something else on commercial.
Yep.
I'm not streaming your ass.
No, exactly. Which is why it fits perfectly into this list.
Okay.
Again, this last one, this concept was great. The actors, terrible. And I would love to see it done very well. And that would be In Time with Justin Timberlake.
I don't think the actors were terrible.
What movie?
In Time. The concept
the
of
whole
the rich
world
have
runs
all the
off
time
of
in the world. And the poor have to buy time, and everybody gets to what is it, 18 or whatever, and that's basically how you look for the rest of your life
Yeah.
until you die. Concept's badass. You're absolutely right.
People stop aging at 25.
25. That's
are
what it is.
engineered to only live one more year, but you have a means to buy your way out of a situation to obtain immortal youth.
I thought Justin Timberlake killed that role. I felt like the writing let him down,
which came in this right about the time the writer's strike movies were finally ending.
I've never heard of this movie, so
go
wow.
Watch it. You're not missing out. It's a great movie. Really. I'm saying from the perspective of, again, a concept that was great. That
I understand where you're coming from, Robert, and I will fully agree with you in that sense. The concept is one of the coolest concepts that has come out in our lifetime. I fully agree with that.
I mean, it wasn't off. I guess the budget was $40 million and it made 174. So it's not awful.
To me personally, Justin Timberlake killed it. It was his co-star female role lead that let it down.
Amanda Seyfried.
Cillian Murphy's in it. Freaking Leonard from Big Bang Theory's in it. Olivia Wilde's in it.
Olivia Wilde plays JT's mom.
Yeah. Matt Bomer's in it. He's in American Horror Story, if you ever watched some of that.
That's why I say I don't feel like it was the acting, it was the writing of
I will give you that.
Like this awesome concept, and then they went Zack Snyder.
I'll eat my crow on that one. I'll say that's some writing. I'll eat some crow on that.
But yes, should be remade because it could be done so much better.
That's my list right now. I mean, there are some other ones that I've got floating around. But
Robert, I'm going to need you to jot that down and send it to me because that needs to get posted to our socials and let the people give us their thoughts. And that's a good one. I love it, dude.
When we're talking remakes,
no, Robert.
Well
done, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
That's a pretty damn good list. It's a pretty damn good list.
Appreciate it.
God damn. Fuck
yeah,
you,
now you're
Tom
like
Brady.
Now you're like, man, I want to watch some of these movies. Like, shit. Think about what they can do.
Well, we guys, we're ending it there. That was solid. Yeah. Killed it, Robert. Again, just bravo, my guy. You start putting together another list and let us know when you're ready because we got an off season to get through, and that was definitely worth the time.
You got it. My next one is that I've been working on very diligently is movies and books that deserve a TV series rather than a film.
Ooh, I like that.
So
concept.
You get more content.
We can get that.
I'm working on that. It's working.
I'm telling you guys, let's put the production company together. We'll get these ideas ironed out. Let's go.
I need to start Binky, we're gonna have to have some meetings. I know people and we need to start using some of these people and put this sports nonsense and whiskey brand on the map.
Let's do it.
Here's the deal. Final thoughts. Guys, I love the Broncos. I'm realistic. I'm sorry. I only wear colored glasses when it comes to my Huskers. I don't know why. It just is the way it is. I apologize.
It's awful. The Huskers are so bad all the time.
Think you're buying me a number 15 jersey real soon. The Raiola's going to kill it this year.
I mean, it's $40, bro. Just give me the $40. I'll get you one. It's good.
Nah, I got to win it through the Vamp League. That's the only way I'm going that route. Final thought, Robert.
Movies are great. Movies deserve some second chances. NFL is going to be exciting. I'm really excited for building these next lists for the opponents and things coming up. And NBA is wild. I'll just say that. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out.
Pinky?
Man, I don't even know what to finish on. Shit. Shogun. Watch Shogun.
Yeah! Tomorrow.
I'm 4 episodes in.
It's tomorrow.
It's pretty good. They do the actor's really good.
Pinky complaining about subtitles in the group chat. It's awesome.
And then I tell him how to correct it, and he's like, "Nah, that's cheating." I'm like, "What do you want?" Like, I try to give you a solution here.
If you guys could see the group chat, you would. Our group chat would entertain you for days. I promise.
if you're in Japan, they shouldn't be speaking English, right? So like I feel like it's cheating. But I also know if I'm sitting there watching something, I can't play on my phone because I have to watch the subtitles.
Yeah.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
And I have to wear my glasses so I can see this.
I love it.
So,
I love it.
So, it was funny. The wife was like, "Wait, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm watching Shogun." She's like, "You don't have your phone." I was like, "I can't watch my phone. I have to watch the subtitles.
I have to read." Like,
So
I
it
have
made
to
my
read.
wife so mad. She's like, I got to go back and watch the first 3 episodes because I didn't know what happened.
I got to do what Gronk can't right now, bitch. Leave me alone.
You don't
Read
you talk about
teleprompter.
don't you talk about my boy Gronk like that, all right?
Hey, Gronk killed it. But the man did struggle reading that teleprompter a little bit. I'm just going to be honest. Ladies and gentlemen,
poor Gronk.
that giant pour went down real smooth this evening. It started off a little rocky and rough, but we got through it. Ended on a solid note. Robert, again, well done. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, guys, remember, it's not sports nonsense and whiskey. It's sports nonsense and whiskey. We love all of you. We can't thank you enough for the support. If you have those moments to spend with those loved ones, family, friends, inner circle, whoever you consider that to be, do not waste those opportunities. Cherish them. Take advantage of them. We are here for you. If you ever need us, let us know. Appreciate everyone. We're out.
See ya.
Like, subscribe.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up.